Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have one. It's not that this is an indictment on the entire business community, but how do we start to turn the ship? I mean, you've identified things that we can look at to determine leadership and the ability, but to kind of change how we as a society or a country think about how we lead, how we move forward, because for so long, the not so great way has kind of been rewarded. How do we kind of...
That's a good question. It starts with, what are the criteria that someone establishes for what they expect of a leader? That's a little easier in a corporate setting, but it's not impossible in a political setting or in a university or in a hospital or any other organizational setting. What are the criteria that we expect of a leader? And then everybody agrees on those are the criteria. Then you make assessment of the potential candidates that would be eligible for appointment to the leadership position or election to the leadership position. Do the candidates appear to meet the criteria? That oftentimes is what boards of directors do when they appoint a new CEO. Frankly, it's what the American people do when they vote for a president, or a senator, or a governor, or a mayor, or a judge. Do they have the competencies to meet the criteria, at least in the voter's mind? And so I think that's where you start. And then you performance manage them, which is another aspect. You're accountable for your performance. You're held accountable for your performance against those criteria. And that's where things break down. That's where, for one reason or another, leaders fail because they're not being held accountable. Now, the voters get a chance to hold people accountable every 2 or 4 years, or 6 years, as the case may be. So we have a good system of accountability for our elected officials. I'm not sure we have as good a set of accountabilities for many of our appointed officials. And that's where the system has to deliver as well, performance management against what people are accountable for. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know a little bit about Citizens for Affordable Energy.
Thank you. Citizens for Affordable Energy has a website, www.citizensforaffordableenergy.org. It is, as Jeff said, it's a new company, it's a not-for-profit set up to educate Americans on the truth about energy and environment. As I visited people around the country, as Jeff described, thousands and thousands of people, I was often struck by the fear and insecurity people felt with respect to energy. I was also struck by something else, and I say this with emphasis. The disinformation, misinformation, and lack of information which we all suffer from when it comes to energy. And a third aspect, which is the politicizing of energy. So the Democratic view of energy, the Republican view of energy, when neither view is telling anything other than an ideological story about energy, which fits a political purpose, not a social purpose. Energy is like water. Energy is like air. We need energy to live. Just like we need water, we need air to live. Whether it's a modern society or a not so modern society, energy is critical. And we have politicized energy to the point that America is at risk of not having enough or of having energy too expensive, contributing to a have and have-not society. So Citizens for Affordable Energy exists to educate people from primary school to senior citizen homes and everybody in between the truth about energy. And the fact of the matter is, as you can go to the website and find out, we have more energy than we'll ever need if we count all forms of energy. But yet we cannot decide as a society because we are frustrated by political partisanship and dysfunctional government from achieving the energy objectives that we could otherwise achieve. And so our mission is to try to get a grassroots effort going across the nation by sharing information without political bias. When I was in Shell, I worked both sides of the aisle. I met as many Democratic senators and congressmen as I did Republican senators and congressmen. You can go to the public record and see, as you were saying, we water both backyards, I think it is. Is that what you said? Yes. Right. So I watered the backyards of Republicans and I watered the backyards of Democrats almost dollar for dollar in terms of political contributions. And neither side liked it because they wanted my loyalty. I said, I'm loyal to the American system. And so please go to the website. You'll learn a lot more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.